So this is 2 ounces of fiber on one wheel. I mean on one bobbin. Goes on the holder, if I can see what I'm doing. And then over to the winder. Now I put the tube on, and then I just start winding. It doesn't necessarily have to go on the tube right now. I'll show at the end how I get it onto the tube correctly. My one hand is tensioning the fiber slightly as it's being wound on. I'll stop so you can see. And now I'll get going again. You can cut.
Cool.
Still winding. I'll show you what it is. Okay, you can cut. We're almost at the end. Notice my hand is down lower because the bobbin is very light right now and it was jumping around. You don't have to go fast when you're winding this. Probably slower is a little bit better. Okay, here's the end. Now what I do is I get my end off. Okay, so I had to rewind it. It didn't fit on. I realized that perhaps I didn't pull the inside thread out. This fits on. And then, because the ball is wound loose, it should just slide right up on the tube, which doesn't seem to be doing. But we'll keep going. You don't want the ball to come off without being on the tube because that makes a big mess at the... Okay, so the ball is on the tube. I squash the tube in so that my thumb is inside so I can hold all the fiber with my hand. I've got the 2 ends right here, and I always spin clockwise for singles and counterclockwise for plying. That way I don't get mixed up. So I'm going to start by spinning counterclockwise. For plying. Now I squish the tube inside so I don't have, oh, that's just what I don't want to happen. Okay, it should be okay. So that I won't, so I'll have tension on it. There we go, got that part. So I'm keeping tension on all of it. And then to get it off of the tube, my thumb, and my dog is talking too. I can't do do this with one hand. Is telling us that it's just a little flick of the wrist to get it off the tube and keep it from getting mixed up. See, that's the part, you gotta hang on to that part, because that'll cause a big problem. And it's just a little flick of the wrist. Now when I get too much off like that, I can use my hand down here to keep the inside and the outside on even tension as we go along. And you can see that my thread is pretty thin. Oh, got another spot. My yarn is pretty thin. I'm putting a little extra twist in it because I do want to use it for embroidery rather than knitting. If I find that it's too much tension, too much twist in it, then I'll run it back through the machine the other direction to get rid of some of the twist. But some of that'll come out when I soak it. And I'll show you a picture of the skein at the end when I'm done. Came off of one side, so I'm tensioning it with my fingers until I can get them even again. It's a lot easier now that I'm in the middle of the ball that I've gone down, so there's not as much tension on either side. And it'll be really easy from now on to keep pulling both sides off with the same tension. Okay.